Well guys, it appears that this is the year of fuck around and find out. It seems like this year, more than any other that I can remember, we are seeing influencers get arrested and held responsible for the stupid, arrestable shit that they do. It seems like once or twice a month we've seen some major influencer get arrested for a prank or some dumbass video that they made, and you know what? I'm okay with that. Maybe that'll help kill the trend of people trying to become famous off of being just the worst person imaginable. Now, if you've been on TikTok or Instagram anytime in the last 6 months, and you've seen videos of people walking around like a Target or a Home Depot, anything like that, screaming at the top of their lungs and then pretending it wasn't them when an employee confronts them, then there's a pretty good chance that you've seen a video made by, or at least influenced by, the guy we're talking about today. Heston James is a TikToker who blew up for making these stupid ass videos where he'd walk into some sort of store, scream as loud as he possibly could, and then pretend that he didn't do it when an employee walks up and said, "Hey, we just heard you scream." Really funny stuff, you know, real highbrow humor. You might just not get it. But his whole shtick was doing these pranks that were not really pranks at all. So, you know, the typical social media prankster route where nothing that they film or call a prank is ever a prank because, you know, for something to be a prank, the person who's getting pranked has to be the one who gets the payoff. They have to be the one who realizes it's all a joke. And when you walk into a Target and scream for 30 minutes and make an employee call security and then just run out of the store, there's really not a joke there, you know? You know, it's the same thing when you pretend that you're from corporate and you walk into a Chipotle and have your buddies start stealing supplies, or when you walk into a mechanic shop and have the people you brought with you start working on cars. You know, these aren't pranks, they're crimes, and that fact finally caught up to Heston James because recently he's been arrested and charged with a whole grocery list of shit, which could land him in prison for nearly a decade. Heston James, whose actual name is Heston Cobb, was arrested on July 23rd and was booked on 13 different charges. He's got 1 count of third-degree burglary, 2 counts of criminal impersonation, 5 counts of disorderly conduct, and 5 counts of criminal trespassing. And if convicted on all of these, he could face up to 9 years and 8 months in prison. Now, let's be honest, 10 years is kind of crazy work for something like this, and we'll talk about that later, but really, I have no sympathy for this guy. I've seen like an outpour of support for this guy, mainly on TikTok, really not any other platform, which, you know, that makes sense. And like, obviously, most of that support is going to be coming from younger people, you know, his target demographic, his audience, but I've seen some support from adults for this guy, and I'm like, really? Are you even thinking? Do you really want to live in a world where harassing people and disturbing the peace is not only perfectly legal, but is encouraged? You really want to send the message that getting a bunch of your friends together and stealing shit for a TikTok is a solid career choice? That walking into a Jiffy Lube and trying to trick employees into thinking you're from corporate so your friends can work on cars is okay? Interesting mindset. Let me know how that works out for you when some dumbass on TikTok replaces your oil with ketchup. Now, in case you've never seen a Heston James video, I'll play some clips from a few of them. I think he's deleted his TikTok account, or it got deleted since he was arrested, so I'm not sure how many I'll be able to find, but just so you have a visual, I'll do my best.
Oh my god, what the fuck? We need to get to the bottom of this. Come on! Come on, everyone, get to work! Everyone, get to work! Everyone! Yo, everyone, take that tire off! Take that tire off, quick! I got something for you guys. Everyone, check the oil, check the oil! Hey man, what the fuck? I heard that too.
We don't know. We thought it was whoever came in.
No, I heard it too. Hey man, what the fuck?
You guys want to yell?
No, why would we have yelled? I heard it.
Because I heard a younger man yelling, and you guys are going to do that. I need you guys.
No, I heard it too.
I hear it again.
No, well, don't blame me. I'm a professional. Fuck! From a different location. Let's get this ironed out. Check your HR emails. We were going into a different one. They didn't need us there. They sent us here. You guys are good to go. What do you mean we're good to go? Go ahead and bring the guys in.
You're not even on the phone, dude. Come on, get out of the store.
See if I was on the phone or not. Here. You guys can get to work. We're all good. Everyone get to work. If you guys want to go ahead and take over the lanes, go ahead.
Get out.
Hey, out.
No, go ahead and take over the lanes. Go ahead and I need people at self-check.
You need to get out.
I'm the district, and these are my workers.
So, as you can see, not the best pranks, at least in my opinion. Like I said, basically all of his videos are just harassment and disturbing the peace at best, but he has stolen from multiple videos. He trespasses in basically every other one of them. Like I mentioned earlier, what really got him popular was the videos where he'd walk into a store and and scream. But from what I can tell, I don't think he's got any sort of charges for those videos. The ones he's really getting in trouble for are the ones where he pretends to be an employee of a certain business and will usually bring like a team of his own quote employees and try and convince the people working there that they've been sent to help out or something like that. And that's really where the charges seem to have racked up from. Like in this video where he does this at a Chipotle, his team goes in like the back rooms and steals cleaning supplies and shit. Or this one where he pulls up with a van of people at an auto shop and they start like taking off the fucking wheels of random cars. You know, I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, he was just screaming in a store. Well, that's not what he was arrested for. It's for impersonating these people, causing these crazy disturbances, and just fucking with people's shit. And, well, it's finally bit this guy in the ass. I truly cannot fathom the support this guy gets. If you go to his Instagram or if you looked at his TikTok while all of his stuff was still up, people seem to eat this shit right up. My guess is it's just a lot of younger people who have maybe just never had to work a job. The adults who like this shit, I can't even really begin to understand that, but I mean, if you've never worked like a fast food job or worked in some place like a Target, I can sort of see, I guess, how you might think these videos could be funny, but there's a reason that none of the employees in these videos are ever laughing or ever enjoying what this guy is doing, and that's because it's not funny. Like, I don't really know when it became like the popular opinion that fast food employees or department store employees are just fodder for TikTok content, but I really wish we could revert that. Like, seriously, it seems like over the last few years, people have started to think that as long as you're a fast food employee, that part of your job description should be having some snot-nosed influencer come stick a camera in your face and try and piss you off until you give them a reaction so they can post it on a TikTok. Like, I hate to say something like this because I don't really like making generalizations, but I feel like there's a very clear divide in people who find this funny and people who find it annoying, and that divide is based off whether or not your parents made you get a job in high school, or whether or not you can experience like basic sympathy, one or the other. Seriously, I can't really think of any other explanation. I'm asking genuinely, if you think this kind of stuff is funny, why? Can you actually articulate it? Can you tell me why you think it's funny for a guy to stick a camera in somebody's face who's just trying to make ends meet and make them the butt of their joke for millions of people to laugh at them on TikTok? Why do you think that's funny? Because I can't really wrap my head around that one. Like, seriously, can you sit here and say that if you were in the position of any of these people, you'd actually find this kind of shit funny? Like if you went to go get your oil changed and some TikToker hopped under your car and started taking off your wheels, or you work at Chipotle and some guy walks in with a bunch of people that you know don't work there because you work there, and you've got to sit there and listen to him as he screams at you trying to convince you that he actually has to clean up the entire restaurant for some reason. Your manager makes you call the police, you've got to give a statement, you've got to stay after work. Like, all this shit is not funny for anybody but the idiot recording it and the people who are for some reason finding this humorous. Like, for the people that he's supposedly pranking, this is just a giant nuisance. He's just derailing their day so he can make money. That's not a prank, and he's probably going to learn that the hard way. He's probably going to end up being a felon after all this because he wanted to make these stupid ass TikTok videos. He has nobody to blame but himself. Now, the other big thing that I've seen people talk about with this is how like 9 years is way too many, which, like, sure, yeah, hypothetically, if this guy actually managed to get convicted for nearly 10 years for all this, I'd agree that's a little crazy, but this guy will never see anything near that. He'll probably end up pleading down. He may not even see the inside of a cell. I see this guy getting like 6 months maybe. People are making way too big a fuss about the whole 9-year thing. When you get charged with a dozen different things, yeah, the maximum sentence is going to be kind of high. Who would have thunk? The one thing that I have been seeing though that I will agree with is how it's kind of crazy. It's a little bit backwards how our justice system is set up to where a guy who's not committing any sort of violent crimes, he's just basically fucking with people professionally, is potentially facing more time than a person who like assaulted a child would. I mean, we've got guys out here roaming free after they've committed heinous crimes, and not only are they out free, but when they were arrested, they weren't being threatened with near as much time as this guy is. For example, Heston is from Arizona, and there was that story a few months ago of that former Arizona State Senator Tony Navarrete, who was convicted of sexual conduct with a minor, and he got a whopping 1-year-long prison sentence. So I definitely agree that how people are punished for certain things can be a little bit backwards, but that doesn't make Heston like any less guilty of what he's done. You can't become a content creator whose content is just committing crimes and expect to not go to prison. I mean, like, come on. Common fucking sense. Well, guys, what do you think? Like I said, I struggle to really find any sympathy for this guy. It's not like he didn't know that what he was doing was something illegal or something that he could be arrested for, so it's like, surely he had to know that eventually it was going to catch up to him, right? If not, then I think him being arrested was that much more important. You know, if he really thought that he could do shit like this forever, he needed a wake-up call. So, a wake-up call he has definitely got. See ya.